Welcome r/Prorevenge. Took a year, but I sued the unsuable. So after a year-long battle, this finally came to a close. Maybe not my revenge, but revenge on my behalf. A little backstory. I bought a house about 5 years ago, and in 3 years, flooded 3 times. It never flooded in the 40 years before. Thanks climate change. Finally, after the 3rd flood, my wife and I were financially able to move out and sell the house for a loss. We search around and find our dream house, or so we thought. After living in the new house for about 6 months, we noticed something very peculiar. Whenever it would rain hard, the bathtub would backfill with sewage and the toilets wouldn't flush. So we called a plumber. The plumbers were awesome and told us that our sewer lines had broken between the house and the city sewer line, and while we could try and spot fix, we would probably need to replace the entire line. Ouch. Having just dumped a bunch of cash on a new house and taking a loss on the old house, we said to try and keep it as cheap as possible. They dug up where the line was broken. Broken is an understatement. The line had all but dissolved. We were going to have to replace the whole line. About $5K. Not the best time, but okay, let's do it. Once they exposed the line the best they could, I got a call from the plumbers. The line has broken up so badly, they cannot find where the residential line ties into the city line or tap. Now the homeowner is responsible for the residential line, but the city is responsible for the tap and the main line. I asked the plumber what is needed. He says we need to get the city plans and dig to uncover the tap. More digging equals more money. At this point it's been 2 weeks and I just want to shit in my own house and take a shower. Okay, dig the hole. They dig a 4'X 10-foot hole and find nothing. We double check the city's plans and they are right on where the plans say the tap is. Now we have to deal with the city. We call 311 as directed, and after sitting on hold for 3 hours, a city official sends us the same plans with the location where we dug. We call back and say we already dug there and there is no tap. Getting nowhere with the city, my wife finally goes down to City Hall, and after spending a vacation day hanging around waiting for someone, she finally gets in to meet with an official. Let's call him Richard. Richard prints off the same plans we have already been given and says we need to dig where it's marked. My wife takes out her phone and says, "Look, it's not there." At this point he mutters to himself and takes out a pen and draws on the plans, marking the actual location. It shows the residential line doglegging from the original drawings and is about 10 foot west of the initial location. It was apparent that he doesn't want to waste his valuable cushy government job time on my wife. It was pretty obvious he just made something up to get her out of his office. Plumbers come out, dig a second 4'X 10-foot hole, read more money, and surprise surprise, the tap isn't there either. Fun. Back to City Hall and another vacation day wasted waiting for Richard. At this point, we don't want another hand-drawn map. Someone from the city needs to come out and mark where this damn tap is. They come out, and I burn a vacation day to wait around for them. To their credit, they got down in the sewer, did some digging around, and mark a new spot between the 2 big holes. Finally, a real location. Plumbers come out and dig a 3rd hole. And if you think they actually found the tap, then you would be mistaken. At this point the entire backyard is destroyed. Piles of dirt everywhere. The lawn is dead. The trees are dead. It's ruined. Our beautiful new house's backyard is literally shit. Back down to Richard's office. Another vacation day burned, and we are livid. We remain calm, but insist that we must have not been tied into the city's main line. There was no tap. Now you might be thinking, how did we not know? 6 months of sewage just piled up in your backyard? In the backyard, there is a large dirt mound that had been turned into a nicely landscaped forest. You can kind of see it in the backyard picture. Lots of room to absorb the sewage that only 2 people would produce. But if rained hard, the dirt was saturated and would backfill the bathtub and the toilets wouldn't flush. Richard doesn't accept responsibility, but does send out the contractor who did all the work for taps in my area. The contractor comes out, and I get the full story 2 years prior. While the previous owner was doing improvements and not living in the house, the main line of the sewer was replaced. Basically, they slide the new tubing into the old tubing underground and then go in and install new taps for each house. Since no one was living in the house, they couldn't get into the backyard and told the city they did not service a house. I'm furious. It's been 3 months, $20k, and all the wasted time and vacation, just because Richard was too lazy to do his job and make one call to the contractor to sort it out. Now, remember how my first house flooded 3 times? I learned my lesson dealing with people, and once we knew we had to talk to the city, we recorded everything. Every phone call, every email, I videoed the contractor and his explanation, everything, and all obtained legally. In my state you have to have both people's consent to be recorded. He installs a tap and I take the first shower at my house in 3 months. I'm ready to act. I go down once again to Richard's office. I show him everything and want to file a claim. I agree to cover the cost of the residential line as that is my responsibility. However, I want the city to reimburse the cost to dig the unnecessary holes. I think I have a good case. Pursuant to our city, we had to file a claim before starting any work and provide 3 estimates in writing to file a claim. Since none of that was done and could not be done after the fact, Richard denied the claim right there. Left without words, I walk away completely defeated. I perk up on the way home after calling my wife and being reminded that I have some lawyer friends. Surely one of them could help or knows someone who can. Unbeknownst to me, my state has something called sovereign immunity. Basically you can try and sue the city or state, but it will be thrown out immediately, and Richard knows this. No credible lawyer will help me pursue this case because they know I would just be wasting my money. I'm pretty much sole. After months of calling around to try and find anyone to help, I have resigned myself to defeat. Almost a year goes by. The loans I took out are about to start coming due and I have no idea how I'm going to pay for it. All communication with Richard and his office is blocked. I have also tried his boss and crickets. I tried going back down there, but Richard refused to meet with me. I finally reach out to my council member in a last-ditch effort. I include a synopsis along with all the evidence I have. I don't expect much. 1 hour after hitting send, my phone rings. It is my council member, and she is livid about how we were treated. She has a meeting scheduled with the head of public works for later that week. She doesn't promise anything but says she is going to fight for me until they kick her out of the building. After the meeting she calls me on her way back to the office. The head of public works has accepted full responsibility. She wants receipts for everything. The plumber, pay stubs showing the vacation we took, phone logs from the time we spent on hold, the quote from the landscaper to fix the backyard, all of it. She has them all in her inbox by the time she makes it back to her office. That was about 3 weeks ago. Yesterday I met with my council member at her office. Me, thank you so much. My wife and I cannot repay you for all you have done. It was my pleasure. We chit chat for a bit. Here is a check for what you are owed. Me, this is so great. We can pay off the loan and finally get someone to fix our why. Wait, this is much more than we need. You forgot to include emotional distress. I added it in for you, Winko, and if you ever have any issues, you won't have to worry about dealing with Richard. He no longer works there. Just come to me. I have become good friends with the head of public works. Me, oh my god, you are literally the best person I know. If there is anything I can do. Elections are in the fall. Maybe you could turn out and vote. Edit. To clear up the Prorevenge, I offered to pay my part, $5k, and was only asking for the extra work done because they didn't put in a tap, $15k. Since Richard didn't go for that, I got him fired, and almost $30k for the extra work, my wife and I's time and effort, plus emotional distress. Edit 2. I have asked the councilwoman if I can post her name, but she would rather not. I link it on Reddit. I'm going to post this on her website come campaign time. She is up for re-election in 2024. Edit 3. New grass is in. Took a good full day, but now the backyard is back. Dogs are loving it.